Coming up, an Australian intuitive filmmaker and best-selling author who has invented a frequency generator. But first, welcome to Imagine Peace, the podcast that invites you on a transformative journey toward a world filled with harmony and understanding. Together, let's ignite the flame of peace within ourselves and radiate it outward so we can have a future where unity prevails. This is Imagine Peace, where dreams become reality. Join us as we explore the power of compassion, the beauty of diversity, and the potential for positive change. Welcome to Imagine Peace. I'm MarBeth Dunn, a director and founder of 10 Million for World Peace, our sponsor. And we have meditations and healing circles, and we invite you to check us out at 10millionforworldpeace.org, all spelled out. He's an Australian intuitive who founded the Intuition Wisdom Institute in 2007. Daniel Rechnitzer is a sought-after speaker around the world and has authored 2 best-selling books, The All-Knowing Diary and Mind, Lies, and Truths that will set you free. And additionally, he has been featured in 2 documentaries, Beyond the Secret, The Awakening, and Beyond Limitations, and is currently working on his next film project, The Frequency of Miracles. As the director and writer, he's renowned for his ability to tap into infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge and wisdom from the universe to coach and heal and transform lives. Recently, he invented the EnlightenMe Frequency Generator, which is a self-powering device designed to help heal subconscious programs and impact genetics and lives. Daniel, I am so grateful and excited and humbled to have you here with us today on Imagine Peace. Welcome.
Thank you so much, MarBeth. It's such a pleasure, and thank you for the invitation. It's very beautiful and generous of you. And hello to everyone listening and watching. So great to be here.
Oh, well, I've just really been blessed to be spending time with you, to have spent time with you over the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
And getting to know you a little bit. And I really want to share you with our audience. What are the 3 things that you do to help people achieve more peace in their lives?
Wow, that's a great question. I've been doing a lot of intuitive work for about 25 years, and one of the keys that I've discovered to helping people with peace and helping myself with peace is, number 1 would be the realization of truth. Now, so many of us are occupied by the contents of our mind, and the mind is forever undermining us and having us chase around after goals and things that we believe we need and important, and having us compare ourselves to others, and we're constantly feeling inadequate, insecure, and restless, and the need to keep striving, and whatever we do isn't good enough. So that all those conversations are the mind and all of its non-truth. It's not who we really are, and it's not the truth about ourselves and our life and our reality. So the realization of truth is a process by which we identify and acknowledge this chatter that's going on in the background. A lot of people kind of ignore it and run from it, the more we acknowledge it, the less it keeps persisting. And so it's a process by which we acknowledge the non-truth that is being spoken by the ego, and then we go into a nice deeper space, and we connect into the inner wisdom of the higher self, and we ask, well, if that's the non-truth, and we know the ego speaks in opposites, then what is the truth? And that really combats that persistence and that self-denial and self-rejection and self-loathing, because it brings us out of that noise and into our the trueness of who we really are. And I find that to be one of the most powerful ways to bring about peace. It takes all that noise in the background away. Yeah, so that would be my first big tip, and what I do and what we teach.
I love
getting into
that. I
getting,
love that because the
yeah.
truth is so profound. And when we're focused on the truth, which is love, which is
Yes.
peace, and then, it basically, we've taken our attention away from that mind chatter. So we're right here in the present moment.
Yes,
Love it.
exactly. Exactly. And we are by nature very peaceful beings. The mind isn't peaceful for most of us. It's been programmed with loads of, non-truth and beliefs and traumas and all these very painful and disruptive things. But we are naturally very peaceful. And when we can step out of the mind and back into the present, and truth brings us back into the present, and the present brings us back into truth,
Mm.
that is where we find our peace, because what we're craving most is to be in the space of our true self, not the mind self. And that is a beautiful, peaceful, serene, still space.
It's a beautiful space. So tell us about the work that you're doing now.
Mm. Well, I think one of the biggest roles that we play in the world is connecting people to the deepest, most pure intuitive space where all the answers are, where all the knowledge is and all the wisdom, and where you find your purpose and your path and realize your true greatness. And so that's one of the biggest things we teach people. And from there, life tends to get a lot better. And we teach people how to be intuitive practitioners and how to help others connect into that space and give them guidance and wisdom from the true self space. So that's a very big thing that we've been doing for the last 17, 18 years. Recently, I've had the pleasure of being shown some tools, like you mentioned, the EnlightenMe Frequency Generator, which I'll show that. I hope it
Oh,
shows up on
that's
the screen.
wonderful. Yes.
Um, yeah, it's showing up nicely. That's all good. And this was something that was shown to me. Um, I was asking the question, how do we help people fast track their spiritual awakening? How do we help them access deeper, hidden subconscious beliefs that are really hard to get to, painful to see if we had to see them? And so we've protected them with layers and layers of other beliefs and things like that. So this emanates a frequency that highlights some of our deepest, most damaging programs that we would otherwise not want to see, but would go on to create lots of damage in our lives, in our body, in our mind, and in our outer reality. So this device, which is completely self-powering, it's more of an antenna. It picks up on a frequency up in space called Sirius, which is a beautiful star, very powerful star in our realms, the brightest star in our night sky. And it picks up, brings to our awareness what's hurting us, what's harming us, what's getting in the way. And this has been quite an amazing journey, because it's really transformed how our graduates, um, how they move forward, how fast they move forward. It's really an accelerator. So whatever spiritual practice you're engaged in, whether you're starting with meditation and you want to fast track into higher spaces, or you're wanting to go on the subconscious mind and clear, your whole lifetime worth of beliefs and programs, or whether you're wanting to go and get answers, this takes us into a very heightened space where we can access truth and wisdom and knowledge. And that's just really the tip of the iceberg. So this has been quite an amazing addition to our training and to our journey, really taking people to very heightened spaces very quickly. And
It's
it's been quite
really
amazing.
wonderful, and I was really very impressed with it. The energy that is emanating from it is just absolutely yummy. I didn't want to put it down.
Yeah, and I loved when you had a go, your energy just expanded immensely, and I was just loving sitting in your space, because you can feel someone's true energy and the love and the bliss and the peace. And I gave it to Christina last night, and I just sat in her space, and that was beautiful too. So it
Oh,
really opens
lovely.
people up, taking the ego away and just allowing everyone's energy to just spread and expand.
So also you've been involved in films like Beyond the Secret, and now you're writing your own film and directing it. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, Beyond the Secret, The Awakening was a film back in 2020, and that was really filling in the gaps from the original movie, The Secret, that things that they didn't address or questions that arose afterwards. And it was a beautiful opportunity for me to connect directly to the universe and say, well, what is the law of attraction really? How do you apply it? What are the the ins and outs of it? What are people missing and what do they need to know? So I was fortunate to be involved in that film. I was fortunate to help them with the script and the direction and the how that film, the final product. So, and that gave me a taste for how much I enjoy the filmmaking process and bringing this knowledge and wisdom that I've received. And so I've been wanting to do my own film since. And, with what's happened in the last few years, weren't able to travel and all that. So now's the opportunity. I've come to the US and we're going to create a trilogy of films called The Frequency of Miracles, and really about addressing the very essence of our personal development in ways that we haven't heard about before, in more accessible, simple terms, but very advanced concepts, but made simple and accessible for people.
That's so exciting, Daniel. I think that's really wonderful. So talk about the work that you're doing and how it impacts world peace.
I love that. Well, what I've come to realize and what was shown to me early on in connecting to the universe and the intuition wisdom is, we it's very we often think that we need to change others and we need things to be fixed on the planet for there to be peace. And it as cliche as it sounds, it really does come back to us and finding peace within ourselves. And as soon as we find peace, then we are peaceful. So we've now created someone in this world who is peaceful. So the fastest way to create peace is to start with yourself. And that immediately contributes peace to the world. Then it also shows others what's possible. It lights the way for others. And then we're able to see what it takes for somebody else to create peace, and we can help facilitate that. And, one of the things that we tend to do as people on this planet is, if somebody's doing something, or a country or um, world leader is doing something that's not peaceful, we tend to get angry and we send hatred or anger to this person, hoping that in some way this will calm the situation or change the situation. But what this person needs is peace sent towards them, the energy of
Exactly.
peace or the energy of love, the energy of compassion or understanding. And this is um, something I remember. I had a conversation. I was tapping into the higher selves that help us in our life and our family, and we were talking about, what are some of the problems that are happening on the earth and how do they deal with that? And these are spirit beings that we all are, and they were saying, whenever there's a problem or a conflict, what they do is they get as many spirit higher selves together and to just wrap this person in love. So if someone's about to hit the big red button and wanting to push nukes on the planet, they immediately come and just douse them in love. And that is, to me, what we're really about, is if we can take away all the pain and we can take away all the beliefs that are causing the pain and the needs and the traumas that are causing pain in people's lives, then we're creating peace in ourselves and in those people we help. And then that is how we go about creating peace on earth, by bringing truth to the world.
I love that. You know that 10 million for world peace. Until very recently, we've been conducting daily meditations and focusing on world leaders and surrounding them with love and appreciation.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that, and also with the intention of creating peace on earth. And there have been many experiments. I had one in 2018 where we focused on the Middle East. And during the 6 months of our experiment, the level of violence dropped over 20%. We've been focusing our meditations on the world and on the world leaders
That's
now.
amazing.
And now we're moving for the moment to monthly meditations. And I'm not sure where our next direction is going. We're in flux right now, but it's something that really resonates with me, that your take on this as well, because it's so true. Now you're getting the spiritual confirmation from your spiritual friends that that this works. I know that it works. It worked with Dr.
Yeah.
Iglan and his experiments with transcendental meditation. It worked with Lynn.
McTaggart.
McTaggart, yes. I blanked on her name. Yeah, and her work. So yeah, this stuff does work, and we're all interrelated. We're all energy.
Well,
So
that's right. And the things that are creating the lack of peace is what's inside that person, the anger, the self-hatred, and the doubt, and the fear, and the worry. And if we just keep sending more anger and more hatred and more worry, we're just, it's pouring gasoline on the fire. So we need to come at it with putting water on the fire, and the water on the fire is sending love and peace. And
yeah,
then it has that person make decisions from love and peace, not from hatred and anger and fear. So
yes,
so if we want to create more peace on earth, we really need to do the opposite of what we've kind of been shown. And a
yeah,
lot of us as children, when we did something wrong, we were yelled at, we were told off, we were made wrong. So we learnt to punish um, ourselves if we've done something wrong, and
yeah,
therefore we learnt to punish others, yell at them, scream at them, get annoyed at them, get angry at them. And so, it's time for parents to train children very differently, because
absolutely.
you know
And forgiveness is the key to
yeah, and understanding, like, everyone's
healing.
doing what they're doing for a reason. And the reason is this: how they were taught, it's what they were shown, it's what they know.
Exactly.
And they're in pain. So yeah, so once we know not to do that to ourselves, it definitely becomes easier not to do that to others.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that's really wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about meditation. Now, do you promote meditation in your practice?
Well, yes, absolutely. Our meditations have always had, I guess, a different flavor to them, in that our meditations are used to obviously create stillness and to create a beautiful, serene space, but then to go deeper and to find out, ask questions and get answers and have realizations in that space, get to
Nice.
the truth. So all of our training is based on how to still the mind in less than 60 seconds, how to get into that deep meditative space, and then what are the messages, what is the guidance that wants to be shown in that space. Now, of course, you can keep a nice still space and sit in that, and if that's where you want to go. And that's what I do with the EnlightenMe. That really puts me into a really quick, deep meditative space, and I just sit in that frequency, just as rest and relaxation and recovery and peace, obviously. But yeah, it's for us. It's been a journey. About our meditations have been very oriented to our own growth, our own awakening, and the truths that set us free.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. So what is your favorite peace practice?
That's a great question. I would say I kind of integrate several. Um, for me, one of my favorites is, like I said, going into the truth, seeing beyond the mind, and accessing, you know, these realizations that just free you up of worry and guilt and regret and resentment. Um, but then I also love being in nature, in the ocean, with animals, being with what's real, what's true physically. And that's some of my favorite experiences to bring about peace, is to be amongst trees, to
Mm.
be in the ocean, to be in the desert, to just be in raw nature without frequency, harmful frequencies, without phones, without devices, without crowds, um, without the mind-made world. So I like to bring, a combination of everything that's beautiful. And one of the things, MarBeth, that I share that I learned in my first book, All Knowing Diary, and it's funny because I learn in my books. That's why I write them, is because that's when I get shown new information. I don't
Yes.
write from what I know. I write to know more. And one of the things that I was shown is that, we are multi-sensory beings. So, we have sight, taste, hearing and touch and all these things. But we are so geared to feeding one of those senses, with which is nourishment and food, and but every other sense wants to be nourished as well. Your eyes want to be nourished with beautiful things to see. Your ears want to be nourished with beautiful sounds
Mm.
and touching beautiful things. And whether that's someone you love or your children or whatever it is, we and that all brings about peace if we feed all of our senses, our intuitive sense, our physical senses. If we feed all of our senses, then with what's true and real and beautiful and amazing, then we bring about absolute presence in the moment, and we bring about peace. So I look at, that's how I go about, like, how do I want to nourish my senses today or in this moment? What's there for me?
That is lovely. Oh,
Mm,
I love that, Daniel. Wow.
great.
I'm going to borrow that if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's really lovely. Nourishing all the senses
Mm,
for peace. Yeah,
yeah.
that
And one
feels
of the things,
good.
yeah, that we've taught is, that our organs, whether it's our eyes or ears or whatever part of the body is, the health of that part of the body reflects the quality of those experiences. So if our eyes are constantly seeing horrible things, we're going to have problems with our eyes. And I've got a friend of mine who's a documentary filmmaker, and she keeps filming all these horrible things happening in the Middle East. And she's having so many eye problems. And she asked me for help, and I connected to her body, and I said, why is she having eye issues? And her body said, well, she's constantly looking at horrible things. Her eyes want to close. They want to shut down. So what do you expect? So it is, not just an access to peace, but it's an access to health, to be nourishing all of our senses in our body. And it really does make a huge difference if we're looking at beautiful things and hearing beautiful things and experiencing beautiful things, as to how healthy we are, and the functioning of that part of the body.
I love that. And it really does make so much sense. So thank
Yeah,
you for that. That is absolutely brilliant. And
beautiful.
so how can people reach you, Daniel?
Oh, great. Well, we'd love to be in contact. So you can definitely jump on our website at intuitionwisdom.com and check out what we've got available. We have free training up there for intuition to get started into these fast meditative spaces, and boost your intuition. We have Enlighten Me. I do sessions for people. My wife does sessions for people. We have a whole host of things. So um, yeah, we've got a LinkedIn. I've just started a LinkedIn account there, which like 15 years a bit late, but that's okay.
That's
And
okay. We're getting there.
yeah, yeah. And we kind of avoided social media for a long time. I tried just, minimize my computer
Exposure.
computer contact.
Yes.
But yeah, we got a Facebook account up there, and a YouTube channel that's got lots. So Intuition Wisdom. But yeah, intuitionwisdom.com, great way to connect. And if anyone's interested in talking more about the EnlightenMe Frequency Generator, and all that, what comes with that, to come get in touch with us. Love to talk more.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It's really fabulous. Thank you so much, Daniel. I could keep talking with you all day. So,
Go right ahead, by all means.
so thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, MarBeth. If I can just add, if people want to reach out via email, I would just say the number one at intuitionwisdom.com. That's the number one at intuitionwisdom.com if you want to connect. And we look forward to hearing from you. And thanks very much for having me on your call, MarBeth.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. And well done for your peace movement and everything that you're doing.
Imagine Peace is brought to you by 10 Million for World Peace. Join our daily 7-minute guided meditations for world peace and monthly healing circles at 10millionforworldpeace.org. Together we can create a peaceful, happy planet.